Hello everyone. If you plan on towing the trailer with your Ford Maverick, you will have to have trailer lights installed. It is required by the law. Let's get on and show you the installation on this vehicle. You'll need the tools seen here to complete this installation. In order to install this wiring harness, we are going to go behind the tail lights. And to do that, we're going to start by opening up the tailgate. We have two 10mm bolts right here that need to come out on both the driver and the passenger side. We now remove the tail light. There are two pins on the back side over here. You got to be careful not to snap them. Pull it away slightly and pull it out. You have a wiring harness right here with a locking pin underneath. Squeeze the tab and separate it. So now we're going to repeat that process on the passenger side. We're going to use our probe and we're going to front probe our harness. We've determined that this is a 2-wire system, so we're going to start on the driver's side and connect our wires. Take our Scotch lock. We're going to put it on the white wire with the green tracer, and we're going to take our yellow turn signal wire and slip that in there and secure it and close your cap. One more time, we do it for the running lights. Scotch lock, brown wire, and I put the Scotch lock on a purple wire with a teal tracer. I am now going to ground my white wire with my provided self-tapping screw. We determined that it's a 2-wire system, so we now have to attach the white wire with our red wire. At this time, I'm going to take my green wire, I'm going to drop it down and route it to the other side for the right turn signal. Upon running the wire, we found that the wire was a little bit short, so I'm going to run a little extension. I'll drop it down to the bottom. I'll take my Scotch lock, attach the green wire. It's going to go on a purple wire with a red stripe, I believe is the color of that. So I ran the wire, it comes out from the tail light through here, comes around here, around the bumper bracket to keep it off of the exhaust so that we don't have any shorts. Comes out the other side of the bumper bracket. So it came across over the top of the spare tire, through the wire looms up on top, through the brace where the wires go through the hitch. So the wire harness coming from the factory was determined that it was too short. We ran an extension wire from the right side tail light down. At this time, I am going to take a heat shrink connector and connect the two wires here. At this point, we'll heat shrink that butt connector. After heat shrink, you want to go ahead and take and push all your wire back up in here and tuck it in. I did put a zip tie up here. I'll pull that zip tie at this time and secure that down. Now it's time to install our power line. We have determined that the battery is inside the cab of the vehicle on the passenger side in the back seat right here. Take this handle, pull towards the front of the vehicle, lift the seat, and your battery will be under this cover right here. So we've determined that the wires are going to come in underneath this compartment. I'll show you that in a little while. To get to that, we need to remove this panel right here, this panel right here, and this panel right here. And it's just a simple thing of grabbing a hold of it and lifting up. Set it aside. This brace is in the way of the box right here, so you'll have to wiggle it around a little bit. The entry for our wire will be coming in right here. So I brought my power supply, my box, my cable down behind the tail light when I ran my green wire. At this time, I'm going to connect my power line to my box with a heat shrink butt connector. So trying to avoid any hot parts while routing the power wire, I routed it the same way I did the green wire for the turn signal on the passenger side. Above the muffler on the driver's side, above the spare tire, along the frame, behind the wiring harnesses to keep it out of the way, all the way towards the front. So we've gotten to this point. Ford did an excellent job of putting this access point underneath. There are 2 tubes tucked way up underneath it. You got to fill up there and pull them out. Each tube has a cap that will have to be cut off. And you don't have to open it all the way. Now we'll take the little opening that we made right here and we'll pass our wire through up into our battery compartment. At this time, I'm getting ready to prep my provided fuse holder with my provided ring terminal and provided butt connector. At this time, I am now going to connect my power wire to my battery. I'm going to trim the excess off of my power wire, strip the wire, connect my inline fuse holder with my butt connector. With a 10mm socket, I'm going to remove the nut on the top of the battery. So the nut will not come all the way off to be able to put the ring terminal on. So I'm going to trim it and turn it into a horseshoe. With the terminal completed here, I will take my supplied 15-amp fuse, slip it into the fuse holder, close it up. That wire is now live. We put our cover back on. One of the things you want to make sure that when you put your cover for the battery back on, that you have access to this fuse in case you have to change it. Using some zip ties, I'm going to now clean this up. I'm going to attach this wire to this harness that's supplied here. And it's now ready to put back together. We will be installing a wiring harness right here. I will start by drilling my first hole. Take one of the mounting screws through your hole and take the locking nut and attach it. And drill my second hole. On my second bolt, a second lock washer. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, I'll tighten them down. This time I have routed my wire the same way I did the green wire and the power supply wire. At this point, I will put my 4 flat in. We attach our dust cover. I will take my excess wire, bind it up, and I will be securing it to the back of the hitch to hide it out of the way. We're going to reinstall our tail lights, starting on the passenger side. I will connect my connector and a little pop will lock them into place. Repeating the installation of the taillights on the driver's side, it's just the same. Now we will reinstall our screws for the taillight. That concludes our install. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this product, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with a U-Haul Hitch professional, visit your local U-Haul store or visit us online at uhaulhitches.com.